Well, hard work. It's fun to watch a kid struggle. I think struggle is good. And then Jackson's always been the kind of kid that would like to identify weakness or a move or something that he'd like to either incorporate or perfect, and to watch him struggle with that and the development of that has been a lot of fun.
Being a coach's son does have its perks, and that's access to the gym, weight room, and coaches. And my trainer, Eric Tedman's, really, when I was about in 7th grade, we really started working on that. And we started off slow with no weights, no resistance, nothing. And then we've just built every year. And we've always preached, he's always preached flexibility and speed. And this is really the first year that I've really hit the weights, because I would do stuff my freshman, sophomore, junior year, but it wasn't as dedicated. And then this year I really dedicated myself because I knew that if I wanted to have a great season and then also build towards college, that it would start this year.
He said that you were the best basketball coach in the state, and then he added that maybe there was a tie between you and Coach Williams. So.
Well, that means a lot coming from Jackson and being said in the same breath as Coach Williams. But when he started playing on teams, the most important thing was to always be his mother first. And I always said that to him when he started playing. But then he started coming to me sometimes and he'd say, "Mom, I want you to be a coach." And he would ask a question about some things, and we always told him that his coach was his coach, and that was who he listened to on the court.
Well, first off, I really believe that it started at the Carolina Challenge, Dave Taylor's Carolina Challenge, which is an annual event in the state where all the top players from North Carolina come, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. I mean, John Wall's been in it, Ryan Kelly, all the Plumlee brothers, P.J. Harrison, my future teammate, was in it. Just a lot of guys have been through that process. And I had a great 3 games, a great day, and that's when I really knew that that my hard work was paying off, and that I had a chance to go play even higher than just the mid-major level. And ever since that day, that's always stuck in my mind. That's all I've been thinking about is, if I just play like I did that day, then everything else will take care of itself. I still got to work on it. Everything was working. I mean, left-handed hook shots, running the court, dunks, my defense, jump shots, everything. I was in a great rhythm, and I was really nervous that night because I knew that I had a great workout the day before with Coach Phillips, who's our assistant basketball coach, and I just knew that if I went down there, if I just had that same mentality of just that confidence and that attacking mode, that I would be fine. And then, I mean, it just took off. I mean, one basket led to another, and then the confidence just started to gain, and it was a very high moment. I mean, it felt great.
How did Coach Williams talk you into taking a walk-on deal then?
He didn't really talk me into it. He told me what was in it, and basically that he plays no favorites. Everything that you earn is through your work and practice and learning the game and just getting better. And that's all I need to hear, because that's all I've done my whole life, is just take advantage of opportunities. And I love taking advantage, because that when you take advantage of something, that means you're dedicated to it and you want something. And I've always wanted to prove to people that I can be good at this game. Growing up in a state that's basketball frenzy and in a community that all you hear about is either Duke or Carolina, but they're in Carolina, it was great because I knew that I would have a great fan base and be part of one of the best basketball programs in the nation. And it was a satisfying feeling, not in the sense of I arrived, but just that it would allow me more opportunities to expand my game and expand my mind to places I thought I could never go.
So you really see this as a chance, more than anything else, to test yourself against the best.
Yeah, pretty much. And the fact that it was given to me, and because when I first heard it, when it was first offered, I mean, I was very. I told Dad, I said no, because because every kid wants a scholarship, because having a scholarship is it's an ego thing. I mean, every kid wants one, and a lot of people talk about it. But then when I went down there and visited in August before they went on their trip to Nassau, it became clear to me that that wouldn't matter, that it would come over time through hard work and just continuing to get better and having the break. And I mean, as fate would have it, I mean, I got that break.
And how did that go down? How did you find out that they were going to offer you a scholarship, and what was that phone conversation like? If it was,
well, it came on Monday. I was actually talking to my girlfriend, and Dad came out and told me that Coach Williams had called, so I had to end that conversation. She was okay with it though. I wanted, but I didn't let it consume me. But I always knew in the back of my mind that it could happen, and just to hear him say that, I was just very thankful.
So it's true that you and Will Carpenter were Duke fans and that you cried when Duke lost?
Yes, but I think now that when they lost, I would be happy now.
What about Will?
No, he wouldn't be happy. That's what all this is about. Being the best thing about being from in a small town community is that everyone knows you. It's sort of like being a Carolina basketball player. When you walk outside, they're like, "Hey, he plays for Smoky Mountain," and we've always wanted to turn this basketball program into something special. And that's the one thing that this group of kids that I've grown up with, Will Carpenter, Tanner Cogdill, Micah Carter, Jalen Rosbar, Jared Couch, Blake Mason, Paul Orick, and everyone else. We've grown up wanting to make this special, because it used to be that, I remember this vividly, people would leave after my mom's game, because that was the show. And I always dreamed of, I always said it this way to make Mom happy. Maybe one day they'll stay for both games, and then they did. And that's really what it's all about, sellouts every weekday, every weekend. And even when we played East Rutherford, that was a great crowd, and that just goes to show you the tightness of this community and how special Jackson County is. One of my favorite athletes is Tiger Woods, and he always says, "Be perfect." I mean, if you don't strive to be perfect at something, just strive to be good, then there's that step that you haven't taken. And I've always tried to perfect my game so that when it comes into a playing situation, everything just flows.